You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
So I'm making sound?
I'm making sound. It's like right on par.
Okay, we're both making sound.
All right.
I said, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. I said, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. We're gonna drink a fine whiskey and smoke a really fine cigar.
It is time for Happy Hour. It is the Man Cave Happy Hour Whiskey, Cigar, Spirits, the stories that go along with it. I'm Jamie Flanagan.
I am Matt Fox.
And we are at the Detroit Shipping Company, one of our favorite places to be.
You would say we're at the Detroit Shipping Company. I almost like, again?
Again. And, who knows when podcasts get released or when you listen, but within the last 24-hour period, we've spent a number of hours in this location.
We have.
With a lot of cocktails in our hands.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of microphones.
Yes.
So lots of podcasting.
Yeah,
lots of cocktails.
Just before we went on, you're like, my voice is fried. But I got to tell you, you sound fantastic.
Oh, thank you, Matt.
Yeah, so you're going to wet your whistle a little bit further tonight.
That is it, because we are at what?
Oh, my God. This is Whiskey in the Winter. This is with the Metro Times, which
Brought
is
to you by the Metro Times.
local newspaper, magazine here in the Detroit area, has been a prominent fixture in this area for a very long time.
That is it.
And Whiskey in the Winter here with the Metro Times at the Detroit Shipping Company. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, there's the place is jammed. I mean, I would venture to say the shipping company is at or near capacity.
Yes. Yeah, honestly, the VIP folks can pack this to capacity right from the get-go.
Yep,
people are lined up outside waiting for their specialty glasses, which we do have a couple for the tastings tonight. So people that get here, they actually get a number of tasting samples.
Yes.
And then also get to experiment with the local fare. Some of the food restaurants that are here, too, because the food here is just amazing. So, but a lot of great things happening right here.
So, Whiskey
evening.
in the Winter brought to you by the Metro Times. So there's it's not just whiskey, though. There's some wine. There's some we're sitting right across from the Tito's Vodka.
Yes, we are.
Cigars
are here tonight, too.
There's cigars, and all the food vendors are open for people to try. All the food vendors.
And Jenga.
And apparently Jenga is alive and well.
Not anymore.
How many? Yeah, somebody just got voted off the island there. But, so Whiskey in the Winter, and we wanted to start out with some whiskey.
Yes.
And we wanted to try something that we've had before, but we're doing just a taste of... Glyph. We went back to our friends from Glyph.
Yes.
And Glyph, if you didn't catch that episode, go back, because we were able to talk to... the creators, the owners, and the
sommelier.
The sommelier.
The sommelier.
Yes. I have no idea what that means, but it's the sommelier. So, so the creators of Glyph, and it's a molecular whiskey. It's there's a
molecular
spirit whiskey. Yes. Is what they are required to call it on their label.
Yes.
And what they did was they broke down. They're crazy mad scientists, right? And they broke down flavors of whiskeys. And they took many different whiskeys and broke them down to the molecular level of what created what taste within the different whiskeys.
Absolutely.
And they isolated those little genomes. That's not the right thing.
Genomes.
The little atoms or the molecules.
Molecules. There you go, buddy.
Different little molecules. And, I was told there would be no math. I was told there would be no science. Genomes. I teach high school, and I do this.
You're a journalism guy.
I do this in front of my kids.
Guy.
I just make crap up constantly. It's like
you take the denominator divided by the subtraction of the,
and then my kids look at me, and I'm like, and they're like, "Oh, really?" And I'm like, "No, that's not a word." I'll say something ridiculous, and I'll make up some ridiculous word. And I'll go da-da-da-da-da-da, not a word. And they're like, what? I go, but it's English. You can just, it'll be in the dictionary next year. They keep adding crap. They keep making it up. All right, but like I said, so they break it down. Glyph whiskey, they break it down to the molecules of the taste. And they weren't trying to replicate anything, although this is, it's total Star Trek.
Yes.
Out of the replicator, creating something. They haven't tried replicating anything yet that they've tried to sell.
Right.
So they broke it down, and they created what they felt was a really good whiskey.
Based on their own flavor, their own tasting, their
yeah.
own palates.
Right.
So they didn't copy anybody else. They made their own style spirit whiskey themselves with natural flavors.
Yes.
Because that's the molecules that they went after, whether it be apricot or if they're trying to go for a nutty, oaky flavor. They'll actually pull those molecules from bark and all that fun stuff as well. So they can create their own whiskey.
So yes.
But to go back to the Star Trek thing and the replicators, let's say that a distiller says, you know what, we're no longer going to do this.
Right.
However, we want to be able to salvage the tasting notes. Can you, Glyph, go back and pull out all these notes, all these molecules, and recreate what we did?
Yeah.
And they're recreating it. So that's where that Star Trek feeling comes in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what we noted about Glyph when we tried it, it was a little lighter, right? Their blend had some fruit notes in it.
Yes.
The Glyph has some fruit notes.
Little apricot.
And it ended nicely.
Yes.
And it didn't knock your socks off. Not that it wasn't good, knock your socks off, but it wasn't like, it wasn't spicy. Barrel strength.
Yeah, right. It didn't hit the back of your throat for 30 minutes.
Double rye, double death, triple barreled. 1,000-year-old, So it didn't blow it. I'm just bad adjectives here. Blow you away, knock your socks off, because it was good.
Dude, it's Friday.
It didn't have a long linger. It was a softer. We said it was softer, but tonight we wanted to try because they're pouring cocktails. So we wanted to start out lighter.
Yes.
So we're like, hey, Glyph, and it's a good choice.
Yes.
I had some just not last week, but the week before. I was hanging out, and it was a school night, and I'm like, I'm gonna have a pour.
There you go.
I'm gonna something a little lighter. It's a school night. I try to behave myself.
Now,
so I went with a little lighter pour.
Let me ask you the question.
I had 3 of them. I didn't.
So let me ask you this question for folks out there. 2 years ago, okay, not to date anything, but 2 years ago, if you knew what you knew now,
right,
would you have started with something heavier 2 years ago, knowing what you don't know then to now?
Oh, you mean tonight or
just in general? Because you're like, it's a school night, I want to pour.
Oh, yeah.
But you probably wouldn't have gone something lighter being a school night.
I've been learning a little bit.
Right,
yeah.
and that's the whole point of the Man Cave Happy Hour, is that we want to make sure that we know what we're doing, so we don't kill ourselves, for one.
Exactly.
But two, to help everybody else understand that, you can enjoy a good whiskey, but you need to do it, one, in moderation. And two, you want to enjoy it and drink it. Doesn't care what you drink, just continue to drink it.
I'm going to moderate all 12 of these drinks tonight. They gave us like 12 tickets.
Yes, they did.
There's no way we could get
everybody that's here got 12 tickets.
Holy shiitake mushrooms.
Yeah, and they're just small pours, really.
Yeah,
it's a tasting.
They are.
But the
this
cocktails
was a full-on drink,
but the cocktails are different. Yeah.
So, we wanted to start with a cocktail, and we like our friends at Glyph, and so we wanted to give that a try and just kind of kick off the Man Cave here as we're at Whiskey in the Winter, and we'll have a little bit of whiskey. And actually, one of the title sponsors, that cat that just was taking our picture, is John. He's one of the title sponsors, Optics. It's eyeglass.
Oh, very
place.
cool.
He's
Nice.
on the back of the badges, and I told him we'll try to talk to him.
Absolutely.
Find out about Optics. But all right, Matt. So we have a mule, right?
Yes.
Where do you sit? Where do you fall in the mules when drinking a mule, ordering a mule? Do you go out and say, I want to? Because mules are becoming is a huge trend right now.
Yes.
You got the ginger beer,
right,
along with generally a whiskey.
Yes.
And sometimes vodka. No, vodka. Moscow Mule is vodka.
Yeah.
So Moscow Mule is the vodka. They're doing them with whiskey, and they're doing them with rum. They're doing them with everything.
Right.
And so we have a Glyph Mule.
Yes.
And so ginger beer. And
it's actually very refreshing, very light at this point. But I'll tell you, as far as a mule goes, when I think of mule, I think of watching somebody drink out of a copper coffee cup.
Right.
That's kind of where I stand on a mule.
Right.
But, not out of the glass. So to me, it's like a cocktail. It doesn't speak mule to me at all.
Yeah. So I just mules aren't always my favorite thing. And she was like, you got to do a mule.
Yeah, right.
You gotta try that. So. But
it's not a bad drink at all.
Yeah,
no.
But here with the Glyph, like you said, it's nice. It's refreshing. It's light.
Yes.
I think is this a good winter drink?
This is actually a good summer after mowing the lawn drink for me because it's light and you don't want to get something so heavy.
You know what? But It's kind of nice and kind of crisp here tonight. It's kind of nice to.
It's nice and crisp
to have that.
It's nice and crisp outside.
So we're going to make the rounds. We're going to try a few of the cocktails here at the winter.
Whiskey in the winter,
Whiskey in the winter.
And there's a few distillers. There's a few brand reps here this evening. We're actually going to have them on the show. We're going to do some interviews with Optics. And there's another one here that we're going to probably take you back a little bit. There's a small correlation to an episode that we did not too long ago.
Right.
And it's a small correlation to Jack Daniels. Mm-hmm. So we're actually going to have that brand rep from...
That's coming up?
Yeah, that's coming up.
That and a whole lot more from Whiskey in the Winter with the Man Cave Happy Hour. And then, John, I was going to grab John. So let's grab John.
Yes, please.
And pull him into the conversation.
You sound okay.
I think so.
Yeah, we can actually, things are actually unfolding nicely here at the shipping company.
Can you actually change my voice to be a little more grovelly? Lower?
Well, no, we can't. No.
Get this Joe Pesci thing
do
going
that
on.
Tom Waits. Get her
I was born with a wrecked voice.
But it sounds wonderful.
Yeah, but so one of the title sponsors here at Whiskey in the Winter down at the Detroit Shipping Company is Optic from Birmingham. And we have the owner with us.
Dr. Joe Ailes.
Dr. Joe Ailes. Joe, thanks for Dr. Joe. I'm just calling you Dr. Joe now. That's fun. So, Joe, thanks for stopping in, sitting down. Now, why on earth is an optic, eyeglasses generally?
Yeah, I'm an optometrist.
You're an optometrist?
I have a theory, but I want to hear this out first.
So, what connected you with Whiskey in the Winter? Why sponsor this?
Well, sponsoring it is because basically I've gotten involved with this sort of thing because, well, one thing is, just think about what's happening in Detroit.
Yes.
Like all this resurgence, it's real this time, and these events like this are almost like they're like a celebration of that.
Yes.
And I want to be a part of that. And you look around this crowd, it's really diverse. It's fantastic. The food is excellent. I've never been in this. Now I feel bad I've never been in this location before.
But we were just talking about another bar, Cafe de Mongo.
Yeah.
And then you got the whiskey thing above the Grand Trunk.
Yes.
And there's like how many different craft cocktail places down. There's so many places to try and do now downtown. I'm a native Detroiter. I was born in the city. We lived like 7 in Van Dyke until about 93. When we moved out in 93, we still didn't have cable in our neighborhood. Because I was in high
4,
school.
7, and 20, my friend. Oh, and 50.
That's it, 20, yeah.
I worked for my dad. My dad was a tile setter.
Okay.
He's Italian. So there you go.
So I was going to tell me about your
so
childhood.
I probably tiled your family's bathroom as a helper of my father.
So my house...
Sorry if there's a leak in the basement.
No, my house was built by, my Detroit house, it was built by the guy who owned, there was a Northtown Theater. There was a movie theater at 7 in Van Dyke called the Northtown Theater. The guy that owned it, that was his house. And after the riots, he moved out, and I came along in 66. So I was 1 year old, and I was the fourth one, and there was not enough room, and my folks were like, well, we got to move. We need a bigger place. And a lot of people were clearing out in 67, and there was this gorgeous house, and it was big. And so, yeah, it was like really, it was this kind of a lavish house. It's actually still, they expanded on it, too. It's still standing, and the neighborhood is about 90% solid. There's a few empty lots. The neighborhood's pretty good there. There was the Polish Groats Point over by Our Lady Queen of Heaven. But the house is still there. But I love the city, and I love the resurgence that's going on. I can't wait for it to get the whole city. I want the whole city to come back.
Well, you're talking about resurgence, it's got to be everybody involved. It can't just be downtown, the campus market. It's got to be every surrounding neighborhood.
When I'm one of, when you talk to Europeans and you ask them where they're from, they don't say like we say Michigan.
Right.
They're more city based. They'll say Paris. They don't say France.
Right.
Or an area of Germany or something. We still say Michigan. And it's almost as if we've treated our major cities like Detroit like that.
Yeah.
Instead of like,
I always say Detroit.
Yeah.
you know,
When I'm out,
right,
when I'm
exactly.
out
now
west,
it's really now it's super cool.
I
to
know.
say
I
Detroit.
always
Especially internationally. I'm from Detroit.
yeah.
I was
Motown.
I was in Ireland,
Yeah.
and we're pumping gas, and I have this Made in Detroit T-shirt on, and there's guys next to me, and they're like, "Detroit? Are you guys from Detroit?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
They're like, "Do you know Eminem?" I'm like, "Well, as a matter of fact, I've been bowling with him," and they're like losing their minds, because a buddy of ours like shot videos of his. Quig did his videos, and so I actually have bowled with Eminem once, but. It was like these kids were amazed. I was a god at the gas station for about 15 minutes. They're just asking me all these questions.
A resurgence of the city helps
Yes.
helps the entire area. All the counties benefit if this is the center of culture. And anyway, probably sometime next year there will be. My business partner and I are opening up an Optic Detroit, and we're going to make frames. Eyeglass frames in Detroit. We've been working on it for a couple of years, and
Fantastic.
we'd be the 5th factory in the country.
Oh, okay.
Only 4 others, so it's a big deal. We actually already collaborated on the Motown Museum's 60-year anniversary. We made frames, 240 limited edition frames that you can buy at the Motown Museum.
Oh,
This, proceeds are going 100% toward they're redoing the museum, or they're doing a $50 million project.
Yeah, I'm super excited about
we're
that.
already involved in that regard, and can't wait to get there.
That's fantastic. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that is amazing stuff. So just pride in the city, and
Yeah.
I love that you're doing that. So what whiskeys, right? When you're pouring a cocktail, do you drink it straight? You do it on the rocks? Do you like cocktails? What kind of whiskeys do you like?
What were you drinking on? Because your glass is empty at the moment.
Yeah,
we
we
need to
need to fix
rectify
that.
that.
I'm like, there's water in there. This is called whiskey and water. When the
Pacing yourself is what you're doing.
This is the water
But
part.
do you have a go-to? Do you have a favorite as far as whiskeys goes?
I don't really, but
Okay.
I've been drinking bourbon a little bit more if I'm going to have a little after dinner drink or
Sure.
dinner drink.
But any and nothing in particular, or just whatever you.
Well, the most expensive one on the menu, I try to go. I look at the most expensive, the least expensive. I get one in the middle
Oh, so
when I'm ordering from a restaurant.
have you ever done the Pappy? Have you ever had?
Yes, a friend of mine. Yeah,
Have you?
it was good. It was smooth.
Okay.
I did go to Kentucky. I did the bourbon tour.
Okay.
I mostly stood by the counter where their most high-end one was. I drove all that way. I'm
Just kind of hoping the heavy pour comes
It
across.
was pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's one, and that's another reason why I'm here.
Yeah.
please.
The Metro Times people asked me. They said, "Well, people are going to be, drinking a lot of whiskey. I'm here to help them see straight."
See, that was my theory that I was referring to earlier. Because that's
Basically,
why
what you do is you put one hand over one eye.
I can read the bottom line still. It says IWONTDRINK.
Actually, there's till we get our stuff together with our transit systems in this whole area.
yeah,
like
sure.
the two companies.
Hey, there's
you
a people
can
mover
call
in the
Lyft
queue
or
line,
Uber
baby.
and get home.
Yeah.
Will the Q line take me all the way back
No.
to home?
It'll take you to the
Damn.
Fisher Building. and
Might in
that's
a
about it.
dream.
No, but you know what? When they reached out to you, what was your first thought when Metro Times said, "Hey, we're doing this. Would you like to be a part of it?" What was your first thought when that happened?
No, and then he lowered the price. They made a better deal. So I learned something after all these years. No, I've actually participated. I've sponsored their other events, like similar to this.
Sure.
And it's like I said, it's marketing really.
Right.
Yeah.
But and these events attract people from all over the Detroit metropolitan area.
Absolutely it does, yeah.
From all the suburbs all over the place. And so you're just sort of letting them know I exist. And
So, are you right in downtown Birmingham area, or
Yeah,
are you
so
on
I'm
right now I'm in
Birmingham,
downtown
where's that?
Birmingham. Yes.
right in downtown? Okay.
Where? Yeah. So people come in to get their eyes checked and pick out glasses.
We our claim to fame, we have the largest collection of original unused vintage frames in Michigan. I don't even know anybody who's doing what I'm doing.
Okay.
So my shop has gotten known for that, and I have a lot of exclusive kind of.
Where are you getting these unused vintage frames?
It's just like if you get into anything else, you find out about people around the world. And
Right.
there's a guy actually in Germany, and there's another guy in Paris. Most of the factories that produce frames were in Europe, or like Italy, Germany, France. And so there's still all this back stock sitting there, and you can go there, and you just have to.
Can I get a pair of Wayfarers from you without the bloody Ray-Ban on the side of it?
I actually had, and still do have, a lot of vintage, even Ray-Bans.
As we both are, Matthew and I are both sitting here
with our Ray-Bans
on our temples.
Yeah. Next year, 6 months from now, hopefully, you'll be able to wear a pair that made in right here in Detroit.
Yes. So I am all about
paying
Detroit
somebody a living wage, making them here, quality.
I like it.
It's good.
I like it. Yeah, it's like everything's branded now. I actually, it's because I had a pair, and they were scripts and sunglasses, and I cracked them, and I'm like, so now I got to replace them, and I got to replace them with the ones with the logo on it. And I like the other ones; they were just cooler, just to me.
You're talking to a guy that actually has a family that all wear glasses, except for one child, because she got lucky with the 20/20 vision. But everyone else, you're going to have my money here pretty soon.
Yeah.
No, she probably needs glasses. That one person.
Well, yeah. At the age of 24,
That's what
she's
they
like,
teach
no,
us
I
in
don't want
school.
them yet.
Dr. Joe, take my money.
That's the first class in school. Like, number one, everyone needs glasses. I may tell you otherwise.
Right on. Well, thanks so much. I just we wanted to say hi, and
thanks for having me.
Thank Optic for being a sponsor, and man, a full house.
Yeah,
it's an incredibly full house. Yes,
this is really great. These events are special. I think that's going to expand, and then I'll be here again.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All
Excellent.
right, Dr. Joe, thank you so much. Cheers, man.
Cheers, sir.
Cheers to you,
Thank
too.
you very much.
Dr. Joe was great, Matthew.
Yes, he was. One of the most well-spoken gentlemen that we've talked to in a long time.
So far. And
one of the most sarcastic guys. He was a lot of fun.
Just because we just hit pause there, and we were gone for like 10 minutes, but it's just 2 seconds to people
And
listening.
in that 10 minutes, happened?
Just as we play pause, around the corner comes one of our favorite guests that we've had of late, from the Maley Sports Center.
Oh my goodness!
Pat Maley.
I know those guys.
And so Pat Maley from the Maley Sports Center, my fraternity brother. We did a show recently from his house.
Yeah.
And did a few tastings. He knows Dr. Joe. It's like small world time. So
it's like a Disney ride in here, dude.
It is.
It really is.
It is a ton of fun. We're having a ton of fun. We're going to do a couple of episodes from here. So this is going to wrap it on this one. I think we're going to try a couple more things.
Yeah.
We're going to talk to a few more people. So, hunt around on the Man Cave Happy Hour. Like, subscribe. Go to the website if you have a cocktail you'd like us to try.
Yeah,
or
let us know, because we want to learn.
a spirit that we should go investigate.
Yes, we would love to talk about what you would like us to kind of help you out with.
You will fly. You can fly us to you.
That's not a bad choice.
I'm a whore. Okay, I'll say.
We'll drink, we'll travel.
Not a sex worker, but a drink worker. What is that? All right.
Actually,
how do you say that politically correctly?
Yeah.
So fly us to you.
Yes, we will come to you, please.
Yeah, but no, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you have a suggestion you want to do something. Just chime in.
Yep.
You can do that through Facebook.
Yeah, you can find us on the Facebook,
socials,
Man Cave Help, mancave.com, www.mancavehappyhour.com. The Instagram, the Twitter. We're out there. We do post quite a bit, but you know what? We're here to learn, and we hope you can learn with us. So thanks for joining us.
All right, and all right, so there you go, Matt. Cheers, brother.
You know what? Cheers.